Sorry, Yankee fans, if you were looking for a dynasty on the diamond here in the Bronx, it hasn't been the Pinstripers for the better part of the last decade. But we've got something for you. We've got the real dynasty here in the BX, and that is Fordham softball. Joining us this morning is Captain Kelly Bright. Congratulations, Kelly, on another Atlantic 10 championship, and even more so, graduation from Rose Hill.
Thank you so much, Bobby. It's been such a run, and being able to end on such a good note is so special. I love my team. It's been such an honor these past 5 years now. It's crazy.
I think it's remarkable numbers. I mean, 9 championships, 10 regional appearances, and this is going back pretty much to 2010. So we're talking about a little bit more than the last decade. And if I'm correct, you've got 3 championship rings now.
Yes, this is my 3rd one. I think if COVID hadn't happened, I might have had 4, but that's all right. We'll take 3. But no, it's really special what we've got going on. I know Yankees when you think of like baseball and softball in the Bronx, you think of the Yankees, but it really is Fordham softball. I mean, it's you come in as a freshman, and the first thing they instill in you is just that idea of legacy and how you have a duty to basically fulfill what has been started before you, and kind of stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before you. So it's been really cool to be a part of.
Kelly, I know the fans here in the Bronx might not be too happy with the fact that you're a huge Tom Brady fan, but I thought it was very cool since you're such a great digital creator. We've got this clip that you posted on Instagram where you basically say goodbye, swan song to softball. So we're going to play it right now.
No. Kelly, how do you feel after that big base hit?
Tired.
Kelly, talk a little bit about officially retiring from the game of softball.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned Tom Brady. Like when I went to make that post, I was like, oh, I technically have a 6-year of eligibility, but I'm not going to pull a Brady. I'm done for good. But it's crazy looking back. We always talk about how athletes are more than just athletes. And it's been so strange my entire life since I was the age of maybe 5, I think is when I first started playing. Being a softball player has always been a part of who I am, and it always will be. But now I'm kind of transitioning into that place where I'm no longer Kelly Bright student athlete. I'm Kelly Bright, all these other things, and former student athlete. So it's definitely a transition. Like today's my graduation, so I guess tomorrow is really when I'm starting that new chapter. But it's very bittersweet. I've done a lot of reflecting in the past few weeks, just looking back at all the times, all the great people I've met, all the opportunities I've had. I mean, being at Fordham, I wouldn't be here without softball. Some of the jobs, the opportunities I've had at WFUV, that's all because that comes down to being a student athlete. So I'm so thankful for all the experiences, all the coaches, all the players I've met along the way. But it's been a journey, and I think my body, more than anything, is ready to be done.
And speaking of that, you kind of mentioned it before briefly, but you were injured in 2019, and you've really bounced back the last couple of years. Talk a bit about that injury and what it meant to be able to come back and win another championship.
Yeah, it's funny. There's 3 fifth years with me, and all 3 of us have had our fair share of injuries, to say the least. I've had 4 knee surgeries across my career, and 2 of those culminated in redshirting my sophomore year. So, and with that, one of my teammates, Rachel Hubertus, also tore ACL. So the fact that we were able to come back and overcome all those obstacles and be able to finish on such a good note, like I said, and win that championship, I mean, I was brought to tears. I was moved to tears. Just I can't even explain how proud I was of our team and everyone, including myself, who have had to overcome those injuries. And being an athlete, I've learned coming back from an injury is way more mental than physical. So I wasn't in the moment, but now looking back, I'm thankful I had those experiences, because I think going through something like a serious injury and ACL recovery, it teaches you so much about your mental strength and what it means to overcome and persevere beyond the softball field, beyond the training room, beyond the doctor's office. I think it's just given me so many other life skills that I can now put at whatever comes my way in the future. So it's funny saying that I'm thankful I was injured, but I think I wouldn't be where I am today. I think I wouldn't be the woman I am today without those experiences.
And Kelly, you had this really amazing high school career in North Carolina. You have a bunch of records at your high school for softball. You come into Fordham, and I think it took you kind of a minute to get going your freshman year. Of course, the injury a little bit later on. But these last couple of seasons, you hit your first home run in 2021. You really kind of picked up steam. You become the captain of the team and one of the players that's most relied on.
Yeah, it's been a journey. Like, it's funny coming from North Carolina to New York. You're used to being that big fish in a small pond, and then you come to D1 softball, and we're all you used to be the best player on your team, and now you're one of the worst, and it's definitely an adjustment period. But like I said, I'm thankful for all the experiences I had. I think one of the reasons that I was elected one of our captains was because I was somebody that off the field could still be a leader. It wasn't just about my play, it wasn't just about my stats or anything like that. I think it was really more the intangible stuff, and I think the fact that my teammates were able to respect that enough to elect me captain says a lot about what I believe my legacy is at Fordham. I think for me, it's a lot more about the things off the field than on the field. But in terms of on the field success, it's been fun. I think the older you get, the stronger you become physically, mentally, and just you get used to the pace of the game. So it's been really cool. This year was the first year I got to play the entire season without being injured, and I started almost every game. So that was really, really fun. But I just I'm so thankful for every opportunity that I've had. And, I have so many memories, and it's funny, most of my favorite memories aren't mine. Hitting the home run was cool, but when I think of that year, I think of my teammate, Brianna Pinto hitting a walk-off home run, grand slam, her first of her career. And so it's for me, I don't like to think about my own individual accomplishments. I just like to look at what we were able to accomplish as a team in these past 5 years.
Kelly, in terms of highlights, I guess, walk us through this season and specifically the A-10 championship. You guys, of course, get a chance to play in the NCAAs in Oklahoma. Tough 2 games out there, but, highlight, I guess, the main games of the season and specifically how that A-10 run went.
Yeah, definitely. So last year, unfortunately, we ended with a very sour taste in our mouths. We lost before even getting to the championship of the A-10, which you mentioned our dynasty at the beginning of this interview. That's not normal for us. So I think we all had this idea of revenge when we came back. Even from that first day after losing last year in the A-10s, everyone just had another level of their mindset that we were going to come together and we were going to bring that trophy back to the Bronx where it belonged. And it was really just a team mentality that we've had throughout the whole season. And I think it really helped. We got to travel to start the season. During COVID, we had to pretty much stay in the Northeast. But this year we were able to travel to Grand Canyon. We went to Texas, we went to all these cool places, played these great teams. So I think that really prepared us. So I think towards the beginning of the season, I'm a big NBA fan. So I kind of like to think of the Boston Celtics right now. They started pretty bad. And that's kind of how we started. We started very slow, didn't win a lot of games in preseason. Even the beginning of A-10s, we got swept by George Washington, who were the reigning champions until this year. So we were kind of nervous at the beginning, but then we really got hot at the right time. And anyone who knows postseason sports, it's all about who gets hot, who's trending, who's peaking at the right moment. And I think that really was our team. We had a really great 2 series against George Mason and Dayton. Those were our last 2 conference series going to the championship. Our pitching staff pitched amazing. We have 4 pitchers. 3 of them got pitcher of the week accolades throughout the season. 2 of them got that multiple times. So I can't say enough about our amazing pitching staff, and they really came together for the postseason. And then you want to mention players who just stepped up, Rachel Hubertus and Brianna Pinto, 2 other 5th years who just really came through in clutch moments. So it's been really special to see their journeys. And you get to that A-10 tournament, we knew that GW was the team to beat. They were number 1 going to the season. They swept us in the regular season. So we knew in that first game we were going to come out hot against them when we had to play them. So it was really exciting. We beat them, and we're able to beat them again in the second what-if game of the championship. And it was just really special. I mean, hats off to them. They're a great team. They have a lot of great players as well, but that's kind of our rival. So it was that much sweeter to beat them in the championship. It was just amazing. It was definitely a whole team effort. I mean, our freshman pinch runners scored some of the key runs in most of those games. And we had a girl who, she didn't even hit for most of the season. She was mostly a flex player, and she ended up hitting 2 very clutch RBIs in the postseason. So I think teams that are able to win championships are those teams that can come together 1 through 9 in the lineup and find a way to win, really 1 through 18, every girl on the team. It can't just be one superstar. And I think our team is really the epitome of that. So it was a special run. Oklahoma State didn't really go our way, but for us, it's really more about the experience once we get there. I mean, the pitching is just another level, but it was fun to end on a note. We lost 5-3 in our last game, and Rachel hit a home run, which was really cool because we've never I don't think it's been a while since we were able to hit a home run in a regional game. So that experience was really cool and such a special way to end my college career.
That was part 1 of our interview with Fordham softball captain Kelly Bright. Tune in next Monday for part 2.